Hey guys, this is Nick with Phone Arena, and we're here at MWC 2014. With me is Jeff Gordon from HTC.
Hey guys.
Hey Jeff. Jeff is the Senior Global Online Communications Manager at HTC, and he's going to share with us some of the intriguing details and developments surrounding HTC. So my first question to you is, can you give us a quick overview of the things that turned out great with the HTC One for HTC? What did you excel in, and what key areas could you have improved more?
Sure. First of all, thank you for asking me to do the interview. We love Phone Arena and excited to talk to you guys. You're right, HTC One had many great things over the past year since we announced it in February last year, just before Mobile World Congress. Also things to learn from and improve upon. I think I'll cover on the latter point first because it's fairly obvious to Phone Arena readers and viewers, which is that we would love to have sold more phones, definitely. You've seen our earnings from the past couple of quarters, and while things have been okay, and for example, fourth quarter of last year we were actually profitable, we definitely want to be even more in the black in 2014. In fact, our Chief Financial Officer has gone on the record saying that we will be profitable in 2014, and based on some of the sell-in work that we've already done for some of our 2014 devices, even stuff that hasn't been announced yet, we're feeling very confident that profitability is going to be coming this year. But still looking backwards, we would have liked to have sold more phones, and I think that what that comes down to for the HTC One is I think that we're still working on some of our marketing. That's been kind of a familiar thing that we've said over and over again for the last couple of generations, going back to the One X and the One X Plus. Marketing continues to be something with HTC. It's a little bit of a challenge for us, and I think frankly probably would be a challenge for any company in our position because we're smaller than many of our competitors. We have a much smaller marketing budget than many of our competitors, and we're also a company that was just simply an unknown ODM brand for well over a decade before coming out with our own brand, and so people have to learn what HTC means, what it represents to themselves, and what an HTC One means when it's sitting on the wall at a carrier store at a retail outlet. So we're working very hard on that in order to make sure people know that even better in 2014. Now, in terms of the good stuff, I mean, frankly, the One, hands down, the best received phone that we've ever had, whether critically from reviewers like Phone Arena or just from customers who've purchased the device and have absolutely loved it. And we get that feedback constantly from our customers that they think it's a really fantastic phone. They love the design, they love the power. Everything about it has been truly a super phone for them in 2013. And of course, we know they're looking for us to do the next big thing for 2014, and so we're working hard on that. So I think those learnings are that our customers love design. We're going to make sure that we do more of great design in 2014. Our customers love leading edge specs. Of course, we're going to continue doing that, and add in some extra marketing and some learnings there about how to do that, how to be a little bit more nimble, a little bit more scrappy in how we deal with our competitors' gigantic marketing budgets and try to match that as best we can with our smaller dollar share. I think that hopefully we should have a very good 2014. Very excited about it.
Excellent. Sounds great. Thank you. My next question is about communication with consumers. So it feels that sometimes HTC misses the opportunity to communicate all the great virtues about your products, and there doesn't seem to be enough exposure of these products to the consumers. Is that a key area that HTC is working to improve on?
Oh, absolutely. I think looking back at our marketing in 2013, again, we ran a very big campaign with Robert Downey Jr. I know many of your readers remember this with Here's to Change and Hot Tinfoil Catamaran and all these different abbreviations for what HTC is. And that was a great campaign for us in terms of helping people to have that brand recognition of what is this company HTC? Oh, they make phones. That kind of settles in your mind of HTC and all this wacky stuff in the ad. Now we need to take that a step further and communicate about what that phone can really do for you. What are the features of that phone? Whether it's the boom sound, dual speakers, or the ultra pixel camera, or these great features that really can enrich your life in a feature intensive kind of way. That's the next step for us. As soon as we open up that door with people understanding HTC, then we can communicate more and more and more about that stuff. I know we've got a lot of education that we still have to do. Ultra-pixel camera is one example where in 2013 we only started the conversation about the megapixel myth and why ultra-pixel is a great solution and something that we're very invested in, and we're going to continue that in 2014, definitely.
Excellent, sounds really exciting. So my next question is about the HTC Desire 816, which you guys just announced. So at the announcement, you've coined the term the mid-range flagship. Would you elaborate on that? What does that exactly mean?
Sure, yeah. So the Desire 816, which I'm holding here in my hand, it's a beautiful device, and what we've tried to do here is capture the essence of a flagship phone, but at a mid-range price. So, as you look at the design here, and I don't know how close the camera is on it right now, but we also did some photos earlier yesterday, so hopefully those are on the site by now. And it's a beautiful, beautiful design. It is cast in polycarbonate as opposed to the aluminum of an HTC One, and that helps us to get it to a certain mid-range price points, but still, we didn't scrimp on the design of the device, the overall construction. The quality of the polycarbonate, the feel in the hand is absolutely gorgeous and amazing. And so from that standpoint, and certainly sort of a flagship design, shows a lot of the DNA from the HTC One line, including the dual boom sound speakers with integrated amplifiers and so forth. And from a spec standpoint, it's not going to scrimp. Granted, it's not going to be the highest end specs like an HTC One flagship because it doesn't have a price to match, and internal components cost money, but still, we've tried to make sure we match things like the quad-core 1.6 gigahertz Snapdragon 400 processor that for this particular consumer in the mid-range, that's going to be so nice and smooth for them and work really well. The fact that we've got, yes, the 8 gigs of integrated memory, which perhaps many of the Phone Arena readers would say, well, that's not enough for me and all my videos and stuff that I put on there, but we also have the micro SD expandable storage for up to 128 gigs in your pocket, so we've done that at best. We've had to strike a few balances here and there for price point, but our best to make a flagship type phone in the mid-range price point. So we're very, very proud of it, and I think it's going to do great, especially in emerging markets, China and elsewhere around the world they're particularly looking for a phablet form factor like this that's beautiful, but a little bit lower cost.
Thank you. We're sure it's going to be very well received. All right, my next question, I'll be mentioning one of your competitors, Samsung. As we know, Samsung just announced the Galaxy S5, and right after the announcement, HTC took an aggressive stance from a PR perspective. Would you comment on that?
We like to have a little fun when our competitors do interesting things, and we always have a healthy respect for our competitors. There's no doubt about that. We also don't concern ourselves too much with getting all amped up and nervous when our competitors are making a big announcement, because whether it's a new Galaxy flagship or a new iPhone flagship or whatever, they're going to do great. They're great companies. They have enormous marketing budgets. We know they're going to sell a lot of them, but we like to have fun. We're a fun company. We have a good sense of humor. So we tweeted some stuff and we had some fun with it, and that was cool. It helps to kind of raise that visibility of HTC and know people that we're in the game, we're buzzing, we're making sure people know that we've got our own big announcement that's coming up on March 25th. I know Phone Arena is going to be there in the audience, and I don't know, probably live blogging and all that kind of stuff that you guys do. And I think that the S5, hey, it looks like they're iterating again and doing what they got to do in order to keep selling a lot of phones, and that's great for them. That strategy has worked really nicely for them in 2012 and 2013. I think the HTC is going to continue doing what we do best, regardless of the Galaxy S5, regardless of whatever you might see from iPhone in 2014. HTC is going to be focused on design, focused on premium experiences, obviously premium specs, that's table stakes just to be in the game, but really putting forward the most beautiful, high-end, premium feeling phone that you can possibly put in the palm of your hand, and not just another piece of plastic with a bunch of dimples on the back.
Point. Just one more question before we go. If you were to convince a buyer who is torn between an HTC product and one of your competitors' phone, how would you go about that? How would you convince them that HTC is the way to go?
Well, I hate to sound like I'm repeating myself again, but yeah, that design, right? If you want a phone that it looks beautiful and feels great in the hand, and it can make a fashion statement and feel a little bit like a piece of jewelry. I know that word is tossed around probably a little bit too liberally sometimes, but I think that for the HTC One, it really, really counts. And so that'd be my number one thing is the design. And of course, you look at some of the features that consumers love. Something like boom sound, for example. When you show people boom sound for the very first time, it knocks their socks off. When I play video for people, or a video game with really good stereoscopic sound, and so you can hold that phone in front of them, and they've got sound blowing this way and blowing this way past their ears, it has such an awesome effect. And even when you look at a device like the HTC One Max with a 5.9-inch screen, so you get even more of a stereoscopic effect and more physical resonance inside of the device. It's awesome. People love it. The camera too, the ultra-pixel camera. As I mentioned earlier, we're continuing to help educate on what ultra-pixel is all about, and we find customers are increasingly discovering how to use that camera in low light situations and in normal light situations to create really phenomenal photos. Creates the animated Zoe highlights that we have. Sharing them online and that type of thing, creating animated GIFs on the fly, or GIFs, if you will. And so it's these features that they're discovering, they're getting delighted by it on the phone, and I think really help to differentiate us from another company that might either just force one single perspective of their vision of mobility on everybody. There's one competitor that I can think of that does that one single perspective kind of approach, and there's another competitor that I can think of that takes the opposite, that just toss everything into the phone that they possibly can, and that's not us. We take a very measured approach on what we think is going to really delight the consumer inside. So hopefully that bears out, and Phone Arena readers, and they see that with the HTC One.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and thank you for having us today. For you guys from MWC 2014, this is Nick with Phone Arena. For more great coverage from the event, just visit our website, phonearena.com.